So sometimes in this life, you just have to do the thing that you're not in the mood to do. And today that thing is create content. But you really have to do it and stick with it. So I'm really going to try to do that. Creating the content even when I'm not really in the mood to create, to sit down behind the camera and do all of that. I want to talk about the book that I'm currently reading. But before I talk about that, I want to say that last year I set out to read 12 books and I end up reading 29 books. Yeah. And that's a big deal because it meant that I surpassed my target over twice as much, right? Which is cool. This year I set a target of 25 books. I don't know if I'll go over that because I have school and I juggle in a lot of things. But what you all should know is that I do read every single day, right? I make sure to read in the morning on my way to, on my transit, wherever, to work or whatever I have to do, as long as I get in a maxi. That's only going to work now until up until the point where I have to get a vehicle again. But while I have to succumb to taking public transport, I might as well make it worth it by reading, and that really gets me through taking public transport because it's so unpleasant sometimes, So the book that I'm currently reading is The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. And I am 90% through it. It's a 400-page book and I'm on page 327. So I would say I'm about 80% through this book. And essentially, the book is about how an entire community comes together to save a deaf boy who was sent to a very, very inhumane institute for physically and mentally challenged people. You really get that aspect of the book closer to the middle. For me personally, the book is it centers around two Jewish characters, Chona and Mosh. But then it expands into telling us a little bit about the boy. His name is Dodo. His circumstance and how he ended up in this place in the first place. So one thing that I saw online about this book is that, they felt like the author tried to tell too much stories, and I love that about the book, honestly. So while the book is centered around Chona and Mosh, who everybody in the community knows is a little community in Pennsylvania called Chicken Hill, I think that the way the author chose to intertwine the lives of the characters and weave each other's knowing of the characters to each other and how that is revealed to us, the reader, I just find that's cool. I find it's creative, and Mosh's character is so lovable. Chona's character is also very lovable. But it's this tongue where these Jewish immigrants, the African American persons in that tongue, and then just white people, European white people, try to they have this way of coexisting with each other. But the book is set in the 1920s, 30s, around there, so they have a lot of racial undertones and sexist undertones, and it's a scene. It's real things happening in this book, but I am enjoying it. And I feel one thing I want to stress is how much, when you choose your book, forget the people reviews. Because I could get a review and I'd be alright, bet, well, I won't read this book. This book was on my TBR for so long. And I would have gotten those reviews and I would have just write it off. And I'm very glad I didn't write it off because it is a good book. It is a good book. I'm actually 1972, not 1930. It is a really, really good book, and there are so many different stories being told. spoiler alert, Chona actually passes away in the book. And like, you just know Chona's character is amazing when way after she passed, her name is coming up as somebody who people just loved. Like, I would give this book, and not even finished, I will give it like a 3.5 to 4 out of 5. It's a cool book. I would recommend folks read it. I had some funny laughs in this book as well. Right now I'm on the part where they're trying to break Dodo out of this institution because there is this guy who is a sexual deviant who preys on young boys warded at the hospital. They call him Son of Man. And they tell the story about one of the characters. Well, it's insinuated so far that one of the characters was molested by, oh my god, it's a lot. It's a lot. But what I'm happy about is that there is going to be a movie coming out about this book soon. Well, I don't know how soon. It's going to be produced by Steven Spielberg. And I'm looking forward to that. So I recommend this one. Give it a read. Not my copy though, get your own. And I'll see you all in the next video.